Football, soccer, the beautiful game. It's the roar of a stadium when a last-minute goal hits the back of the net. It's the shared gasp when a player misses a sitter. It's the quiet kickabout in a dusty park with jumpers for goalposts. This sport is more than just 22 people chasing a ball. It's a global phenomenon. It's a force that shapes cultures. It starts conversations. Before we kick off, hit that subscribe button and join the History of Things family. Let's start our journey not in England, but much, much further back in time. Long before the FA Cup or the Premier League, ancient cultures across the globe were playing their own versions of ball games. In ancient Greece, they played a game called episkairos, a rough physical team contest. The Romans adopted it as harpastum, small-sided, about possession and physical wrestling. In Mesoamerica, tlacli was part sport, part ritual. Players struck a rubber ball with hips and knees, sometimes with deadly stakes. Across the Pacific, Aboriginal Australians played Marn Grook, a high-kicking aerial game that may have inspired later codes. These scattered examples show the simple act of kicking a ball is a shared human heritage, a need to play and compete. Next, one ancient game that looks startlingly like modern football. Of all the ancient ball games, Cuju from ancient China bears the most striking resemblance to modern football. We travel to the Han Dynasty, over 2,000 years ago. Cuju literally means kick ball. FIFA recognizes it among the earliest forms of football. Goals were silk cloth strung between bamboo poles with a hole in the middle. Hands were forbidden. Cuju was played by soldiers, nobles, and emperors. It moved from military training to court entertainment. By the Tang and Song dynasties, professional Cuju clubs existed in cities. Rules, clubs, goals. Proto-football. Feather-stuffed leather balls, handed-down rules, and organized clubs mark Cuju as a sophisticated ancestor of modern football. But while Cuju shows Eastern sophistication, medieval Europe produced its own wild traditions. After Rome, folk football spread across Europe, especially Britain and France. These were chaotic, often violent village-wide brawls. No rules, no defined pitch. The goal might be a distant church door, the ball often an inflated pig's bladder. Properties were damaged, bones broken, sometimes deaths followed. Kings and local sheriffs issued bans. The game disrupted archery practice and public order. Despite bans, people loved it. It persisted as a release from hardship. This unruly folk tradition was passed down for centuries, the raw passion that later shaped modern football. Next, when gentlemen attempted to bring order to the chaos. In the 19th century, public schools like Eton, Harrow, and Rugby each had their own games and rules. When teams met, they argued over rules. Some allowed carrying, some forbade hands. On the 26th of October 1863, representatives met at the Freemasons' Tavern in London to unify the rules. The Blackheath Club, favoring rugby-style play, walked out, clearing the way for the dribbling clubs. In December 1863, the Football Association published the first laws of the game, 13 laws that banned hacking, tripping, and holding. They defined offside in a way that distinguished association football from rugby. The first official match under these rules was in Barnes in December 1863. Modern football was born. Now codified and organized, the game was ready to be exported around the world. With a single set of rules, football spread quickly beyond English playing fields. Sailors, soldiers, railway workers, and merchants carried the game with them. In South America, ports saw the first kickabouts. Argentina and Uruguay embraced the game. Charles Miller returned to Sao Paulo in 1894 with 2 footballs and the FA rulebook, helping found Brazilian clubs. On the continent, English students founded the first clubs, Lausanne in Switzerland among them. Factory teams became pillars of towns. Newton Heath, Manchester United, Dial Square, Arsenal, Liverpool. Clubs gave identity and pride. The first international match, Scotland versus England in 1872, ended 0-0, but sparked an enduring rivalry. By 1900, the game had roots worldwide. The world was taking ownership of the beautiful game. FIFA, founded in Paris in 1904, wanted a world championship of its own. Jules Rimet campaigned for a tournament to unite nations through football. In 1930, Uruguay was chosen to host the inaugural World Cup. celebrating centenary independence and offering to fund travel. They built the Estadio Centenario, a fitting stage for the first tournament. Many European teams declined the long sea voyage. Only 4 made the trip from Europe. On the 13th of July 1930, France beat Mexico 4-1. Lucien Laurent scored the first World Cup goal in history. Uruguay beat Argentina 4-2 before over 90,000 fans. The World Cup was born. Jules Rimet's dream created the most watched sporting event on Earth, a festival every 4 years. Beyond the World Cup, week-in, week-out club football is the sport's heartbeat. Clubs founded in industrial towns grew into global institutions. Pelé, 3-time World Cup winner and the first global icon. Di Stefano dominated Real Madrid. Johan Cruyff revolutionized total football. Diego Maradona combined genius and controversy. Television turned players into household names. Pelé, Cruyff, Maradona, and later Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo became global superstars. Tactics evolved, from Real Madrid dominance, Ajax's total football, to Barcelona's tiki-taka. Clubs carry towns' dreams. Each era adds chapters to football's rich mythology. From rivalry to heritage, clubs and legends define the modern game. Strip away the money and fame. At its core, football unites people. For 90 minutes, borders and differences fade. A common language is spoken. Didier Drogba's plea after Ivory Coast qualified for the World Cup helped spark a ceasefire, an example of football's power. Grassroots programs use football to teach teamwork, discipline, and hope. It can fuel tribalism and rivalry. Football isn't perfect, yet its capacity for good is undeniable. From ancient Cuju to medieval chaos, from a London tavern to Uruguay's Centenario, it's a story that belongs to all of us. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe to History of Things and hit the notification bell so you never miss another story.